Okay.
Hi, everyone. My name is Sheila Jean Berger. I'm a member of the IF9 and hostess at Heart Talks. And we have another member here with us, Tony Geron. And we're just going to find out, share with you a little bit of what Tony what services Tony has to offer and what his part in IF9 is. So welcome and thank you for joining me today.
Thank you. Thank you. Pleasure to be here.
All right, so let's get it straight. You found out about IF9 through Deanna.
Yes, that's correct.
And she is just a love bug.
Yeah, she is.
And what kind of services do you provide, Gary or Tony?
That's fine. I've been doing energy work for about 12, 13, 14 years. Depends on how consciously I really want to connect to what I was doing at the time when I first started stumbling into this stuff.
That's very honest.
But quite honestly, I've lived what I've always said as a magical childhood that's extended for almost 56 years now. I don't feel like I ever have really grown up, and so I came into this world being completely different. And I came out, and when I got switched to table food from baby food, I just suddenly said, I'm not eating any of this stuff. So I wouldn't eat any of the vegetables, any of the meat. So I was like instantly struck vegetarian, and I just would not eat any meat at all. So until I was 14 years old, I never had a piece of meat in my mouth.
Wow.
Yeah, and I couldn't eat anything. So the one thing I found out I could eat, which is really funny, is peanut butter. So peanut butter has a lot of nutrition in it. So I was eating peanut butter 3 times a day for the first, again, 14, 15 years. So during that time, I started having different experiences, though. And the very first one I'll share with you real quickly was, it was really fun. I had been really sick. I had something really similar to like scarlet fever. So I had a high fever for an extended period of time, and I was in bed at home. And I remember one night I heard the front door open, and I'm thinking to myself, I'm laying there and I'm counting sheep or doing whatever, trying to go to sleep. So I'm laying there and I hear the front door open downstairs. I'm on the 2nd level, and I hear these footsteps. So now I'm counting because I hear it come towards the steps, and I hear it stomping up the steps. So it sounds like there's a big man coming up the steps. So I'm laying there, and I've got my covers probably pulled up a little bit higher at this point. I was like, what is going on? So the next thing I know, there's this tall figure standing in the doorway, and he has these blazing red eyes. He's got a fedora on, like a black fedora, and he's got this long coat. And he just starts to chuckle. He's like, I remember the one thing he said before I screamed, which was, I found you. And I was like, Mom! So at that age, I was like screaming at the top of my lungs for Mom and Dad. And I think in between that and trying to dig a big hole underneath the covers, they come rushing in, and I was like, what's going on? I was like, well, there was a man here. There was no man there. I was like, oh, yes, there was, and he spoke to me. So that's what kind of started. So I walked outside the next day. I started feeling better after this incident. Funny thing. And I walked outside, and as soon as I walked outside, there was this nice little shiny quartz rock in my mom's garden out there, and it said, pick me up. So I heard this rock speaking to me, and I'm thinking, okay, someone's playing a trick on me. There's a ventriloquist around or something, So I picked up this rock, and and I'm like, wow, this is really interesting. This thing has got life. It's alive, and because it spoke to me. So I had this instant recognition as a child that everything around me had life to it. So I spent a lot of times running into the woods whenever I could. And I've been told by people that I've had readings from, over the years, that I was being indoctrinated by some of the sprites, elves, and other that those people don't see. And I don't see them all the time, trust me, but I know they're real. Boy, I know they're real, and I've interacted with them. So I had this incredible upbringing where I've always had my hand dipped in the jar, but not knew what's contained in the jar half the time, and that's part of the delight and a little bit of I was like, boy, what am I going to do now? So I've grown from that point to where, after having gone through different relationship changes, I was single, and all of a sudden I had a whole different spirituality is starting to take place because I had more time on my hands. So I started to develop aspects of that past and bringing it forward because I had so many different things happen where I wanted to consciously work with it. So this is how life works. I started a new job. My first or second day, I was an IT manager. I went to talk to one of the vice presidents, and I go in his office. There's all these crystals. So I was like, "What is this?" And he's like, "Crystals." I said, "What do you got them for?" He's like, "Well, what do you think I have them for?" I said, "For energy, for protection." He's like, "Well, it seems like you know a little bit." He said, "You ever heard of Reiki?" And I said, "No." He's like, "Well, Reiki is a Japanese form of hands-on healing. It's like where you're pulling in the universal love light energy, and it's coming in through your crown, and it's coming out your hands." And he said, "I'm a Reiki master." I was like, "Okay, well, how do I do this?" So he said, "There's a book on the shelf. It's waiting for you." He said, "You can borrow it for as long as you need it." It was Essential Reiki by Diane Stein. So I read this book, and I was just begging him. I was like, "Please, please, 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 give me the attunements." So I got my Reiki attunements after he made me wait for 3 months. And so that really is what started the path. This was around 2000. So again, it's been about 16 years now that I had that. And so it took me a while to figure out how do I play with these toys, what do I do with it? And where's the ego coming into all of this? Because that's been a big part of the ride as well. It's like, what do I do with this? And what part of me feels like I have to demonstrate or show someone other than myself. And part of it is making it real for me too. Right. It's a good acknowledgement that what I'm perceiving and thinking is real actually has some merit to it. So over the past 12, 13, 14 years, I have actively been doing healing work. That's my calling. I got ordained as a minister just so that I could, the state of Maryland at some point, change the location in order to put my hands anywhere, like onto a client as a non-licensed practitioner of some sort. So they wanted to make me licensed and they wanted me to be certified. And so the out is you get ordained. You get ordained and you can do a lot of things, So I did a couple weddings and a couple funerals. And, in turn, it's allowed me to go ahead and do my practice, which has just been to offer healing work. So part of that background is from Reiki. I moved on to some Egyptian mystery school, Sekhem, Sekhem. I've heard it called a number of different names. But it's got different levels, just like Reiki does. So it's an energy school. So I got certified in that and certified in a bunch of other different things. So again, just trying to, go ahead.
A different form, just a different technique of moving the energy?
Supposedly it's a different band of energy. So if we have a radio dial and we're at 99.9, with Reiki and everyone else at 78.6 or whatever, now we're going up to 103.7 or something. So it's a different band of light you're tuned to pull in. Supposedly it's a different coloration, different vibration frequency, and it's supposed to be the next step after the Reiki. Because there was a number of different flavors of Reiki around, when I was getting into this. So it's just like, well, which one's the true one? I want to say. So I went with this guy. Turned out to be or whatever, the master teacher. So I was lucky enough to have stumbled upon this job, at this time. My life, and that propelled me forward. Since then, I've done a lot of different shamanistic things because I became really good friends with the shaman. And going back to this, I just want to tell you the story about the rock. I believe there's consciousness where I see it, I feel it, I acknowledge it, I rejoice that everything is alive. And I've had so many amazing experiences when I can step beyond just the limitations of what I've been shown day to day is supposed to be this and all the rules and all these regulations and way that we're supposed to conform and be in this life, So I've tried to not be bound by that kind of stuff. And I talk to everything. So what I have to offer to IF9 and what I've been doing is just pure sweet energy work. I go into prayer. It's such to me an honor to meet so many amazing people that I own this type of work. I make some amazing connections with people. I really try to tell the little chatterbox Tony to go sit in the corner and behave himself and shut up, when I do my sessions. So I can be a lot clearer, and I know that when I have information, I don't have to question it. The problem I've had, or the challenge I've had, I don't call it a problem, but the challenge has been the filter. So there's the Tony filter or whatever, and the ego or whatever, sometimes the mind that wants to, well, wait a minute, what does that mean? How can you work that out? I'll sit in the corner when I do my session so that I come through. Obviously, it's the matrix and connections on the table. I hope you can still hear me. So yeah, that's what I'm bringing in is not just a path, but I've been a bridge and continue to be a bridge between this reality, this 3D right here, and some other stuff that's above us. And so I do get this information. A lot of times I tell people things or something, and I'll describe them. I was like, do you have a brother on the other side? Well, yeah, you know. I said, well, Bruce is here, you know. And I mean, it's just boom. It's just like that kind of stuff happens. Not that I'm creating it, I'm just allowing it, really. So that's really part of what I try to do, is to really meet a soul on a very intimate level and allow them to see manifest whatever their intentions are. You know, I try to stay out the way. I try to make sure they're clear and aligned and balanced. You know, I try to get all the boogie knot stuff that sometimes gets caught up in our little webbing. I try to get that stuff out, you know, because I have to take a lot of baths. I have to do a lot of, you know, clearing of myself at times. I got a big spray bottle filled with rose water that I spray myself. It's rose water and holy water mixed together. I spray my healing room here, my sacred space, and I spray myself and my crystals, and I spray everyone that walks by. Essentially, you know, my girlfriend and her kids, even the dogs get it, you know. We all get blessed, you know, on a pretty regular basis, just because you can see it. It's funny how, you know, the more sensitive I become to it, well, you can tell when something is latched onto someone. I can see it in their eyes, and I can see it in their imagination, but it's like there's a cloud around their face almost, and right around their eyes. I see this mask sometimes, you know, and it's just like, oh, wow. And I can see sometimes the way the eye, it's like that eye will shoot and look at me, and then you turn, you know, right back really quick. So I see these, you know, subtle but very fast changes happening. You know, like, wow, okay. So that's when I bring in the spirit. That's why I bring in, you know, the angels. You know, I call upon all that is sacred to just join me, because this is where I'm at. I'm not doing it for myself. I'm doing it for them. You know, and if there's something there or something that's trying to hurt or harm or impair in some way, even unbalance someone, that's the most insidious thing, when it's just barely nudging you. And you know, you're down the road, you find your way over here, and you thought you were still going this way. You know, that happens. That's how insidious it can be, where you have such types of things that really want to, if you're going that way. You know, so I've experienced, I mean, I had one lady I did the session where she swore this black thing jumped up out of her, and she saw me chasing it with a lightsaber kind of thing. You know, and I was like, no, it was Archangel. You know, so it's like she saw this whole thing, and I was like laughing and chuckling. I was like, oh, if you only knew. You know?
Right. Oh my God.
Show out of that stuff. It seems that you know, some of us do. So that's what I'm really bringing to the table, is just me and my crazy life and my touch of, I think, elemental love that has been so present in my life so many times. I still talk to the rocks. I talk to everything. I really do, and I listen. You know, and that's the best part, is, my God, what you hear. My God, what you can receive when it comes to just the information, the light, the love, oh, the acceptance, the brotherhood, the connection. It's overwhelming at times to feel that, oh, I'm getting just chills thinking about it, because it is that divine. It really, when you want to talk about grace and exhibiting and inhibiting and having that as part of who you are and what you being, you just have to touch. You just have to reach out and ask. I mean, really simple. You know, so that's a big part of being understanding what it is as best as we all can. Because I don't know that we have, through even all of this, any hint at what is really going on. And that's a really strong sense at this stage of my life. It's like, buddy, you don't even have a half of it. But I believe that we all have the opportunity to be a light, enlightened. To have more information and knowledge come into our awareness. And so that's my whole thing, is, you know, I call it the war on consciousness. I started a blog on Facebook at one point, and I was like, no, that's not right. I don't want that energy in what I'm trying to say. It's not a war. And so I changed it to welcome to consciousness. because I want people to be aware of the consciousness that they are, and that's everywhere as well. That's unseen, unfelt, untouched, but it's still present. Yes. It's all around us. So, yeah, that's pretty much it.
There you have it, peeps. If you want some energy, some high, strong, powerful energy, call Tony. I think there'll be a place. Okay, give us the name of your blog or where you can personally be reached.
Yeah, sure. Thank you. Yeah, I am on Facebook. I guess we'll start there since I just mentioned it. I'm Tony Geron. It's Tony, and then the last name is Geron, Geron. I have a page that I created and managed for Energy Healing by Tony. So you can search for me by Energy Healing by Tony. I also have a blog by that on WordPress. I also have a website. It's energyhealingbytony.com. And that's where you can go to read more about me. You can see what my services are. It's $50 a session is what I normally charge for an hour-long session. I always give away the first session free because this is not really so much about making money as, again, what I was talking about, the connection that we make. Oh, I'm so enriched, and I am so blessed by that. So it's just a gateway for us to negotiate, you know, the energy pathway of the whole money thing. But I could care less about the money. It's about the connection. It's about what the magic that the two of us together can bring forth.
That is probably the most common foundation of a real healer, is that it's money comes afterwards, because to make that connection with a person, to make a circuit energy connection with a person is divine and sacred and beautiful.
It is. Oh boy. Oh, perfectly said. Yes. Yes, I got goosebumps. Yeah, that's it. That is it. And that's the way it's always been to me. You know, that's just, it was the way I was raised, and it's just the life that I've led. I'm a very humble man.
Absolutely.
I'm a very dominant alpha type believer, not even on the shyest guy on the planet most of the time. I can fill a room without effort, and I don't mean to. I don't mean to come out like, you know, like I know everything. No, I don't know everything. I've been through so much. I'm still excited about it. I'm excited about everything that I've experienced. I'm excited about everything in this now that I can possibly be a part of. Wow. Because it's not limitless, this experience. It continues to change. It continues to morph. It continues to move. So with the passing of dearest family members and friends, I've had so many deaths or transformations over the last 4 or 5 years. All of my inner circle just decided to go, you know, so that's been a great, great thing for me. After I got over the tears and the crying and just like, you know, it's like, I'm going to get you when I get there, you know, leaving me here, you know, like,
no kidding.
Yeah, you know what's
the here.
Oh yeah, so I get over. Yeah, I get over that, and I was like, no, but actually, look, I've grown, and I'm them now. I remember as them. I'm that person, and it's part of me. So I've grown into being who they were in my being. You know, so that's the greatest gift of ever.
Oh, it really is. That's beautiful. Well, everyone, I hope you have enjoyed getting to know Tony a little. And if there's any way that you feel he can help you in any way, please give him a call and contact him in some way. And Tony, I'm just very happy to be associated with you at IF9. And God bless you, and I love you.
Oh, thank you so much. Really enjoyed this. Thank you.
All right. We'll see you again soon. Thank you.
Awesome.
Goodbye, everyone.
Thank you.